we have this thing in our family that I do that's kind of comical, but it's just a typical corporate America dude. You know, I get home and it's, I work so hard for this family, you know? And my son and my wife, they just crack up every time I do it because that used to be me. I was the guy that would come home and I had to pour a stiff drink and, you know, I had to have that 10 minutes by myself and I had to, you know, kick the dog, ignore the wife, all that good stuff. And, you know, I found a place where I get home now and it doesn't matter what's going on. I put my bag down, I take my shoes off and I go jump on the couch with the kid and I have a blast. And really what that was me trying to impress everyone else. It was me trying to be accepted. It was me not loving myself. And truly, it was me giving 99% of myself to the outside world and only 1% to my family. And I found that switch, and for me, it was one day that my wife and I were in the kitchen and we were arguing, and this was maybe 3 years ago. I looked over and my son just had these big brown eyes and I could see his head just spinning and spinning and him going, you know, what's going on? What did I do wrong? Why is dad always upset? Why are we not doing the things to make him happy? And I just kind of had this flash forward moment that I knew in like 40 years he would be me doing the same thing. And I literally just shut up and went upstairs and shut myself in the office. And in that moment is when I knew I had to make a switch. And that switch became me giving you 1%. And me giving my family 99%. And today, my wife and I have this just amazing connection, just deep, deep, deep soul connection, where I just don't think the outside world really gets it, but it works for us. And proof is in the pudding in our son just being such a phenomenal little human being that's just always excited about trying new things and just expanding. And, you know, I do weird things, right? Like at night, I listen to some subconscious reprogramming. And he says to me every night for like the last 4 nights, Dad, can we listen to the Millionaire Mindset? And he loves it. So he sits, you know, we lay down and he puts the earphones in and 5 minutes he's out. And to me, when it comes to relationships, I think we should focus more on the relationships that matter most. And it's the number one that is us, the relationship that we have with ourselves. And, you know, whatever you refer to as your higher self or your God or source or whatever you want to call it, I think once you can get that alignment, you really start to recognize who you are. And when I think you recognize who you are, it's kind of like God handing you the keys to the universe. And you have this, now you have this roadmap of this super complex, yet just simple universe. And you realize that, you know what, nothing against you fellas in this room, but I don't care what you think of me, right? It's not about pleasing you, it's about showing up for me so I can show up for them. And I think once we can recognize that, we then have the power of when our mom or our dad or a brother or sister or cousin says, hey, you're a whack job, what are you doing? You just go, I recognize that's more about you than it is about me, so I can hold space for you. And in that moment, when that happens, no longer am I triggered, because I just know who I am, and more importantly, I know whose I am.